Well, I want to start with a little bit of kind of review. So for some of you, this will be it'll be the review before the exam. You remember? Did you ever have that when you were in school? I was so grateful for those because it was like that's the only way I was going to pass. But I want to remind you of some things that have happened. But I want to start with, for those of you who may be a little bit fuzzy on the structure of our church, which has been very historic, very much a part of who we are as Methodists, coming to us primarily from John Wesley, our founder. But I want to talk to you a little bit about the structure of our church. The current structure is this. We are, as you know, Park Avenue United Methodist Church is a local church. That's where most of the work gets done in all of United Methodism. When I've been on trips to Uganda, when I've been on trips to Costa Rica, and we've been to Methodist churches there, a lot of what we do here is the same thing you'll do around the world. And it's mostly in the local church. And so we are a local church. As a local church, we are part of a district, is the next level of our structure. It's called the South Central District. You may already know that. Our district superintendent is Reverend Paula Lewis, and she covers our area, which I don't know how many churches we have in the South Central District, but it runs from Waycross to Valdosta, up to Tifton, Douglas, and that area. There are 6 districts in the South Georgia Annual Conference. So the next level of our structure is our annual conference. It's called the South Georgia Annual Conference. And it runs, think about the gnat line, for those of us who know about gnats, it runs from Savannah to Macon to Columbus and below. So from there to the Florida line, to the Alabama line, to the coast. That's the South Georgia Annual Conference. And we have a bishop. His name is Lawson Bryan. And so he presides as our bishop over the South Georgia Annual Conference. And he has 6 district superintendents like the Reverend Paula Lewis. And they make up what's known as the cabinet. It's a lot like the federal government, right? So it's the president and the cabinet. So that's the structure. You go from there, though. The South Georgia Annual Conference is one of many conferences, and we are part of what is known as the Southeastern Jurisdiction. It's a conference, and so it's. I want to show you a picture of the conferences that we have in the United States. Here's the map, and so these are all of the jurisdictional conferences. And you can see us in the beige, sort of brownish, light brown color there. That's the Southeastern Jurisdiction. And you'll see that Georgia, there's a line. Do you see that little line? I call that the gnat line. That's between North Georgia and South Georgia. So there are 2 conferences in Georgia, North Georgia, South Georgia. This is really interesting. The North Georgia Annual Conference has more members, just in that northern part of Georgia has more members than all of the blue western jurisdiction put together. Isn't that crazy? In fact, South Georgia has more members than almost all of the western jurisdiction. That's interesting to keep in mind because the bulk of your Methodists are going to be in the brownish beige southeastern jurisdiction. The Texas South Central jurisdiction, the purple, is where most of your United Methodists are found. There's some obviously all around the world, but that's where they kind of are gathered. So we have jurisdictions. Ours is called the the Southeastern Jurisdiction. The Southeastern Jurisdiction is primarily responsible for electing bishops. I'm a delegate to that conference whenever it meets. I'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But the next structure is then, we are part, as a jurisdiction, we are part of the General Conference, which you can think of that as the federal government. It's everything that United Methodists are. The General Conference is over everything. And so ours is just called the United Methodist General Conference. And so you can think of it kind of as it covers all of these other structures that we have. That is a legislative body. It's kind of like our Congress to some extent. It meets every 4 years, supposed to meet every 4 years, and every annual conference elects delegates to the General Conference. So South Georgia elects delegates, both clergy and lay. You have an equal number of delegates. So South Georgia, we elected 4 clergy delegates and 4 lay delegates. And those 8 people together go and vote at General Conference. We have some alternates. I'm one of the alternates to the General Conference. So if someone is sick or something, I'll step in and take their place. But that's how legislation is decided. It's by the delegates who come together at the General Conference that's supposed to meet every 4 years. And the delegates vote on whatever legislation is presented there.